What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. And as we dive into this issue, we are getting into Batman One Dark Knight, issue number 3. This will be the last issue written and drawn by Jock. So far, what we have seen throughout this story, the individual, the superpowered human known as E.M.P, most recently has detonated. In doing this, all of Gotham City was brought down into darkness, as the gangs and the criminal underworld begin to take over everything. There is a bounty on E.M.P's head. And so while all of these gangs go and look for him, Batman is doing everything he can to get him to Blackgate Prison. Inside this facility, they have the power dampening capabilities to make sure E.M.P doesn't go nuclear yet again. The only problem, from GCPD to E.M.P's own gang, every single one of them are working against Batman without any communication, with all electronics being shut down, beaten, broken, and bruised. Batman is running out of time. Now, be sure that you guys have subscribed to the channel, you have liked this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we jump into the final issue of Batman One Dark Knight, we are picking up in Gotham South sewers. It is 4:16 a.m. and inside these sewers, it is nothing but darkness. Up on the surface, right now, this city is tearing itself apart. E.M.P's gang was able to get him into the sewer system, hoping to be able to take E.M.P away from Batman. As he traverses through all of this darkness, he knows that dawn is approaching, and if he doesn't locate E.M.P before the sun rises, the chaos of the pitch black city will be nothing, as all of his senses are firing at maximum capacity, with visibility less than 10%. And while he may try to fight away the darkness, trying to adjust his eyes to any glimpse of light, he knows that the darkness is somewhere that he thrives. The darkness is who he is. As he makes his way through, this is where he finds E.M.P. E.M.P looking like he might be some kind of sacrifice, or more than likely, some kind of trap. All of E.M.P's gang members surrounding him on the ground, unconscious. As he begins to really understand this situation, we see very zombie-like creatures begin coming out of every entryway. Batman not really sure who these people are or what they are doing here. They are nothing more than religious zealots, one that worship the one who lives in the sewers, the one, the only, Killer Croc. These freaks down in the sewers, they bring Killer Croc kinds of offerings. For Croc, he absolutely loves this setup. He really doesn't have to do much of anything anymore. He is ruling his own little kingdom down here in the sewers. But tonight, he has one of the most delectable of all treats, having the Dark Knight himself up his offering. Now, this is when we are shown Vasquez and Brody. Brody being the son of E.M.P. By all appearances, she has kidnapped Brody. Being a member of the GCPD, we see that she has gone sideways. She has gone corrupt, hell-bent on finding E.M.P. She is going to use Brody in any way necessary to bring E.M.P in, but she has no intention of arresting him. She has her own agenda and her own plans, knowing that the one place they are headed is Blackgate Bridge. The final battle will be held right there on that one-way entrance to Blackgate. As they make their way there, we pick up back down in our sewer system, and Killer Croc is giving Batman one heck of a beating, with Batman trying to let Killer Croc know that I can save E.M.P, I can get him out of here, I can stop all of this from happening. The truth is, Croc has no intention of letting Batman or E.M.P leave this sewer system, finally having some kind of pool, and now he has a bargaining chip. Not knowing what he could possibly get for E.M.P, he knows that it will be a lot. And so if Batman lets him stay, Killer Croc will let Batman leave alive. As the two of them continue their brawl, we see Batman getting overwhelmed by all of these worshippers of Killer Croc, already beaten and bruised. Usually any other day, this fight would be something that he could easily take care of, but he has been carrying an entire person, battling his way through this city. And so right now, he is struggling just to stay on his feet. Meanwhile, in the financial district, what we see are multiple gangs starting to gang up together. There is a citywide truce. Everyone is gunning for E.M.P. Combining their forces, they head off to Blackgate Bridge. Down in the sewers, we have Batman, who is just getting a beatdown, unable to keep up this fighting. If Batman does not act quickly, he is going to be taken out by Killer Croc. Over at the West Docks, we have Vasquez and Brody making their way to Blackgate Bridge. Brody, he sees some GCPD officers trying to get their attention, running over to them, hoping that they might just save him. What he doesn't know is that they are under her thumb. At least most of them are. The one individual that is not, we see the other officers, they grab hold of him. They put him down on his knees, and Vasquez executes him right there on the spot. He doesn't even know what is going on, why this is happening, but they want no loose ends. They want nothing that is going to bring this back to her. And so any cop that is not on her side or more or less under her payroll, they get dealt with immediately. As she ties up all of the loose ends, we are taken back down into the sewer at 5:04 a.m. Dawn is approaching. Batman knows that he needs to get out of here, using phosphorus to light up the darkness. This sends everything in the sewers running in opposite directions. This is only temporary, but this gives him the opportunity to get on his feet. Just a small distraction so that he can have the opportunity to fight back. Having broken ribs, lacerations all over his body. Every fiber in his body is telling him to call it. Getting up on his feet, he taunts Killer Croc. Killer Croc coming and charging directly at him. He uses the momentum of Croc, taking him and throwing him over his shoulder. Killer Croc landing directly into the wall and knocking him out temporarily. As all of the worshippers, they run off in all different directions. He grabs hold of E.M.P, with E.M.P letting him know that he can feel it coming again, that he doesn't want to hurt anybody, that he never meant to hurt a single soul. And Batman, he knows this. He knows that E.M.P never had intentions of hurting anybody, knowing that he is running out of time, but with Blackgate just in the distance, he has one block to go. Picking up at Wayne Manor, we have Alfred, who is finally being able to get in communication with Batman. As the city's grid begins to come back online, the only place that is still dark is 2 blocks surrounding Blackgate Prison. Running out of time with the sun beginning to rise up, they make it to the surface. They make it to Blackgate Bridge, thinking that they have finally figured it out, that they have finally made it after all that has happened tonight. Off in the distance, this is where Batman hears them. All of the gangs that have joined up together, they have accumulated right here at Blackgate Bridge. Having rocket launchers, they begin shooting at Batman. The rockets propelling through the air, detonating and damaging this bridge beyond repair. Not only that, it separates Batman and E.M.P from one another. E.M.P's powers beginning to really manifest. It looks like he is about to explode as all of the gangs, they come in on Batman. Batman trying to do everything he can to fight off all of these gang members. There are simply too many of them. Not only that, on the other side of the bridge, where E.M.P is standing getting ready to go nuclear, this is where we see Vasquez and Brody. E.M.P immediately freaks out. This is his son. He doesn't want him to see him in this manner. Not like this. Batman, recognizing that there are far too many gang members to take on, he leaps from the bridge, being able to make it to the other side when another rocket comes at him. This rocket detonating directly in front of him. It knocks Batman down to the ground. Vasquez goes on to tell Brody that loser right there, E.M.P, that is your father. That is your real dad, and he is the one responsible for your mother's death. Trying to taunt him, trying to let Brody know that he is the reason for everything wrong in your life. Trying to turn father against son, son against father, hoping to use him to put E.M.P down forever. Brody goes up to his father, but the exact opposite of what she wants happens. The two of them embrace one another, but E.M.P still is losing control as he gets bigger and bigger, as the energy surrounding him begins to look like it is going to flare throughout the entire city. Brody gets ready to take down Vasquez, trying to turn him against his own father, trying to use him as a weapon. The rage builds up inside of him, but this is where Batman steps in, letting him know that this is not the way. As Vasquez tries to open fire on E.M.P, the bullets do not reach him. The energy field surrounding him, it melts the bullets immediately, as E.M.P begs Batman for some kind of help. If he blows up, everybody on this bridge is going to die. Not only that, it will cause ridiculous amounts of damage to this city, telling Brody to stay put, that he is going to go save his father. This was a lie. The truth is, there is only one option: tackling E.M.P. The two of them begin to fall off this bridge. We see E.M.P fall into the water. Whatever blast does happen, the water absorbs most of that output. Batman being able to save himself by using his grappling hook. Coming back up onto the bridge, he grabs hold of Brody and he embraces him. This is more or less what Vasquez had wanted. E.M.P is now dead. He was responsible for the death of her family. She simply wanted revenge. Now that revenge has been had, she thinks that she can simply walk away from this. But Batman lets her know that is not an option. Not really in a position to try and stop her. She even lets Batman know, who are they going to believe? The head of Gotham's entire prison service, or some vigilante and a dropout kid? The only problem, Jim Gordon has been listening in on this conversation. He has heard everything that she has had to say, more or less confessing to her guilt. And so when she turns around, she sees Jim Gordon and the GCPD. In Gotham Harbor a little bit later, we see the body of E.M.P being airlifted out of the area, still having a heartbeat and a pulse. Somehow, some way, E.M.P lives. Rushing him over to Blackgate, the GCPD mopping up gang members and Vasquez and anybody that was under her thumb. Communication all around the city begins coming back up. This city has suffered greatly this night, and now there is a lot that needs cleaning up, criminals that need taking down. And so Batman, patching up his wounds, he heads back into Gotham City and he does what he does best. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. A 3-issue miniseries, it was really a lot of fun. This is straight up just street level Batman making his way through the city as it comes alive and turns against him. No technology, no power, no communication. It is Batman and his fists trying to make it through this hellish landscape. And Jacques did a great job not only on this storytelling but on the artwork, because it is very unique. It's very nitty gritty. It fits this story very well. Usually I'm not a fan of this type of artwork because it's very sketchy, it's very messy, but I think it does fit this story very well. It really complements the writing. More than anything, this is just a night as Batman. This is the day in and day day out of what Batman does for the city. This is Batman operating at his finest. And I do think that 3 50-page issues really is where it's at least for this story. It was a little bit disappointing that it took so long for it to come out. I think it was bi-monthly, so every other month we were getting an issue. It might have even been every 2 months, which kind of sucked because I had to go back and reread things that happened in the previous issues just to refresh my memory because I'm reading so many comics all the time. So I would have liked to see it be a monthly comic. I think that would have made the story much more interesting, and it would have kept people invested in everything going on. But that is really my only one complaint out of this entire story. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything that happened in this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with Batman One Dark Knight. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the Super Thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and until the next breakdown.